Hello everyone, welcome to Chrissy's Books. I am your girl Chrissy. So, this is a completely unrelated video about movies, about the Oscars. So, on top of being a book lover, I am a huge movie lover. Like, I love watching movies. And this is a little fun fact about me, but every year for the past decade or so, I have been watching all the movies from the Oscars. So I usually wait for them to announce the nominees, and then I try and watch all the movies for the Oscars that are nominated. And it's weird because I've always had this kind of like love-hate relationship with the Oscars because, let's face it, they are just like, I feel like that whole team needs like a haul out and just start fresh with a whole new diverse range of people who are actually judging these films. Because like up until like, I don't know, 2020, before then, it was all the same fucking movies. Sorry for my cursing. It was all the same movies that are being nominated. And it's all white people. It's all the same fucking directors. All men directors. You know, it's just like nothing has changed for a very long time. So, I'm really glad with like the time that we're in right now. Things are kind of slowly starting to change. And also feel the same about the Grammys too. I also love the Grammys and I watch that. So I don't know. I just feel like they just need to like start fresh and get like a whole new crew of people in there, because these old white men that are running these Oscars, So anyway, my point is of this video is I have watched all of the movies that are nominated for the Oscars, but in this video, I'm only going to talk about the films that are nominated for Best Picture. The Oscars are going to be on Sunday. I'm filming this on Thursday, the 9th of March. So I'm really looking forward to watching it. I love it. I watch it live if I can every year. I watched it live last year, and oh my God, normally it's like, my friends are like, why do you watch this? Like, I'm the only person I know who watches the Oscars. And yeah, and last year was definitely the most entertaining award show that I have seen in a very long time. You know, we all know what happened last year. So yeah, it's the anniversary. It's coming up. So hopefully this year will just be like a normal, you know, also I wouldn't mind a little drama. I always love a little bit of drama. Okay, let's get into the nominees for Best Picture, which is, Best Picture is the one, you know, this is the best movie of the year. It's almost like album of the year for like the Grammys. It's like, who's gonna win that? It's like the best one. I will say that for this year, I'm not so crazy into the nominees for this year. I feel like this is a bit of a weak year for movies compared to like the previous years. I'm not saying that they're bad, but I just feel like, I don't know, like I just feel like it wasn't like a strong year for Oscar movies this year. But, you know, I still love the movies and I still love watching movies. So I have watched I've watched pretty much all of the movies that are nominated for all of the categories, like documentary, best short, etc. And if you follow me on Instagram, because I'm going to do a roundup of like all of the other categories as well and tell you what I think about them and how to watch them, how I've watched them and all that good stuff. But yeah, this video is just for Best Picture because I didn't want to like go all nerdy and tell you all of the other, you know, you don't want to see all that. You just want to see the fun bits. So yeah, so Best Picture. So let me just tell you who's nominated. For Best Picture this year, the nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar, The Way of Water, The Banshees of Insherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fablemans, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, Triangle of Sadness, and Women Talking. So those are the nominees for Best Picture, the best film of the year. And I'm going to go through each one and kind of tell you my thoughts. And I'm really excited to see who's going to win. I don't know. Like, I kind of feel like I have a guess of who might win. it depends on like what they're trying to do this year. Are they trying to choose a diverse cast, you know, because sometimes I feel like they just do need to do that sometimes, because it's like, come on, we can't have the same people winning all the time. First one that I have, All Quiet on the Western Front. So this movie is on Netflix, so you can watch it on Netflix. It's streaming on there. It's a German film, so it is, you do have to read some subtitles, guys, you know, or not read the subtitles. I don't know. I can't watch a movie that's like being dubbed in English. It just like ruins it for me. I need to watch it in the original, you know, language. And then I actually love reading. So, I mean, this is a book review blog, so I read. So I actually quite like subtitles. I'll even put subtitles on pretty much everything I watch, even if it's in English. So this movie, what did I write about it? I have my notes on here. So for All Quiet on the Western Front, I was really stressed out like when I was watching this movie. It basically follows, okay, wait, let me find the part where I actually talk about what it's about. Okay, weird. I don't actually talk about what it's about, but it's about the war, and it's being told from the Germany's point of view. So we're watching Germans on this side, and yeah, like I have to say, like, let me just tell you the general gist of what I got from this movie. So I was really fucking stressed out throughout this whole movie. My heart rate was just like it was almost like watching 1917 or Dunkirk. It was that kind of movie, but told from the German side perspective. This movie was really tense. It was very realistic. The war scenes were like insane. Like, I don't know how they filmed this stuff. It was incredible. Really intense war scenes. The way they did the battlefield was like so realistic. It was like, I actually was like blown away by like the cinematography of this movie. And actually it is nominated for the cinematography category. Well deserved. Yeah, it was a really great film. I actually like, at first, like, I kept like putting off watching this movie because I knew it was like a war movie, and I tend to not like watching war movies. I don't like seeing people being hurt. Like, that's just how I feel. I'm such a softie. And I don't like seeing people getting killed. Like, I find violence a little bit like, ooh, get a bit sensitive about it. So I was putting this movie off. And then one day and I was like, okay, let me just watch this because I need to watch it, right? And I really liked it way more than I thought I would, you know? And I liked that it showed this sort of human side of these men at war. So yeah, it was just really great. And I loved how realistic the soldiers as well were in this movie. And I actually, like, a little fun fact, I actually found this movie very realistic because, like, it's the first war movie that I've seen where they show personal hygiene, and it was really realistic because you're thinking like, okay, these men are out there in the field in the war, they don't have time to be like looking after their teeth and to be brushing their teeth and stuff like that. So like, I really liked all those details that they put in this movie, like their personal hygiene, like their teeth were like really rotting and like yellow and like, you know, like, I don't know, like, it just felt real. I was like, oh yeah, of course. They wouldn't be like, you know, brushing their teeth. I know that sounds really stupid, but I was just like, this is great. Like, I actually liked that attention to detail. Yeah, I actually really loved this movie, way more than I thought I would have. It was really entertaining, really good watch. It was emotional. I was like drawn in the entire time. Like, I did not pick up my phone once. Like I didn't. I was entertained all the way from the beginning to the end. And the movie stayed with me for like days and days after. Like, I'm still thinking about it. So that's a really good sign that it's still in my brain. And it's a movie that I would recommend for anybody to watch if you're into history, if you're into the wars. I really recommend for you to watch this movie. It was really good. And watch it in German if you can, with English subtitles. So definitely a contender. I can see that it does deserve to be nominated for Best Picture. Okay, movie number 2, Avatar, The Way of the Water. So this movie is not available to stream anywhere, so I went to the movie theater. It was fantastic. I went on like a on like a Thursday afternoon. It was raining, and I watched a matinee show. It was me and like two older ladies. It was great. I was like, this is great. So yeah, because the movie had come out already, and I actually watched it very recently. Like, did I watch it last week? I think it was last week that I watched it. So it'd been out for a while. So, you know, the people have already gone to go see it. So it was really nice. Anyway, so it's not available to stream yet at this time on March 9th. So I had to go to the movie theaters, and I watched it in 3D, which was really, really amazing, actually. That was the first time in a very long time I've seen a 3D movie. I can't remember the last time I watched a 3D movie. I have to say, I really enjoyed Avatar 2 more than the first one. I'm not a huge, like, Avatar person. Like, I'm not like, oh yeah, I gotta go watch this movie. It's Avatar. Like, I wasn't like one of those people, because I don't know, I'm not like a huge fantasy person, but I also do like fantasy. I love The Hobbit and all that stuff. And after seeing the second one to me was like so good. It was way better than the first one. This movie had way more depth to it than I actually thought it would have. It was very, very entertaining. It was epic. It felt really epic, you know? This is a really interesting thing that I wrote down, and I said, immediately after finishing watching it, I wanted to watch it again. And that's like rare for me. Like, I don't like watching movies twice sometimes. Like, I'm just like, okay, I've seen it, you know, move on to the next one. I do have like favorite movies that I go back to and watch over and over again, but like, I already want to see it again. Like, I actually want to watch it again, you know, and I thought that immediately after, and I still think that now. So that means that it left a really big impact on me. This movie was just entertaining, guys. I really, really, really loved it. I did. I thought it was a really good movie. And I loved also in the movie that they feature whales, because whales are like one of my favorite, oh my God, they're like top 3 of my favorite creatures of the earth. And I just love that they incorporated like Avatar version whales in this movie. It was just entertaining. It was great. I enjoyed it. I'm not mad at Avatar. At first I was like, why is Avatar in this category? And then now I'm like, okay, actually I see it. So yeah, it does actually, I think it deserves to be in this category too. It was really good. Is it gonna win? I don't think so. I don't think they're gonna give it to Avatar. But you know, if they do, I'll be like, whoa, really? Okay. I don't think it's gonna win for Best Picture. That's just my opinion, but it is a good movie, and it kind of deserves to be in this category because it was very entertaining, very good, highly recommended. The third picture nominated for Best Film is The Banshees of Insherin. So I remember hearing about this movie like maybe like a few months ago, and I was just like, what is this movie about? Like, I couldn't really grasp what it was about, and this was ages ago, like it hadn't come out yet. And then I saw that it was nominated for Best Picture, and I was like, oh, okay, this must be a really good movie. What the heck? Okay. So, The Banshees of Insherin is also up for Director category, Best Actor, Supporting Actor, Supporting Actress, and Original Screenplay. So it's in a bunch of other categories as well. So, it is, I watched it on, I think I watched it on HBO Max. That's where I watched it. But it's also streamed on Disney too, if you have Disney Plus. So I will say right off the bat, when I watched this movie, like the first like 10 seconds, I was like, wow, like, damn, the scenery was just like, like, I think like this is such a good movie to watch if you want to like just, you know, go to Ireland and just want like a nice kind of like ASMR like scenery background or something. Like, it's just really visually a very pretty movie, like very, very pretty. Is it up for cinematography? No, I'm surprised about that because it actually, I thought it was really gorgeous, like just gorgeous scenery. So yeah, I was like blown away by like, and I've been to Ireland, so Ireland does really look like this, and it's really, really gorgeous. Oh my God, it's beautiful. It's like one of the most beautiful countries. You're just like blown away by the scenery. So that's like the first thing that you really notice when you're watching the movie. And And I definitely recommend for you to watch this on a big screen. Please don't watch it on your laptop, you guys. Like, no. Like, stream it or plug it onto your TV if you can, because it's a really good movie to watch on a bigger screen just because of the scenery. This movie was great. It really reminded me of my time in Ireland. It was just really nice. Yeah, the movie was very, very quirky. It highlights the small town life in a rural Ireland village where everybody knows your name, everybody knows your business, and yeah, and you're just kind of like doing the same day-to-day routine. It's quite a simple film, and I kind of liked how it sort of like honed in on the sort of like simple life and little issues of like these, you know, two characters, Colin Farrell and, oh my god, what's his name? Oh my god, what's his name? I can't remember his name. I'll probably put it when I research it. The other actor who's really great in it. So yeah, I do quite I liked the kind of like what it was about. It was just like about these little very simple stories. It's like nothing, you know, massive or anything. A little fun fact or a little thing that I noticed. So it's Ireland, yeah. It's 1920s time, yeah. In Ireland, there's like no sunshine. Okay, I'm not saying there's no sunshine, but like, it's not like you're like in, you know, fucking Spain or something. There's like rarely any sunshine. And the whole time I was there, I think I got like 1 day of sun. And it's like 1920s, it's cold. Everyone is pale in Ireland. It's just how it is. Can you please tell me why Colin Farrell has a tan in this movie? Like, he is tan, you guys. Like, unless he's supposed to be like of Italian descent or something, he looks so like orange. And I'm just like, this just ruined it for me. Anyway, so that's just a little thing that I noticed. I was like, why are you so tan? It's like 1920s in Ireland, and it's like cold and rainy and like dreary. It's like, that's just the thing in Ireland. No one's tan over there. But anyway, that even though this was a very simple movie, there were a lot of like underlying messages in it. I wasn't bored at all throughout the movie, which is really interesting because the story was very simple. And it's basically about these two friends, and then one of the friend doesn't want to talk to the other one anymore, and it just kind of like builds on that. I don't want to spoil it too much, but yeah, it's a very simple story. I was entertained throughout the whole movie. Is it going to win Best Picture? No, I don't think so. I don't think this is going to win because I don't know, like, I don't think it left like a massive impact. This is one of those movies where I felt like, again, like I felt a bit let down about the Oscars. I just felt like we can do better. Like, I don't know, like, it's just not a strong year for movies, in my opinion. Like, it was good. I can see why it's been nominated. I don't know, like, it's not gonna win. That's my opinion. So anyway, swiftly moving on. The next movie I have up on the list is Elvis. This one is by Baz Luhrmann, who's done a whole bunch of great movies. I watched this on HBO Max. And yeah, my little blurb about Elvis. So this movie was really enjoyable. It's really great for blues and music lovers. And if you love Elvis, then why are you not watching this? Like, I loved seeing the scenes on Beale Street in Memphis and Sun Records studio. I was there. Oh my God. I went there in 2019, pre-pandemic. Good times. And I went into like the Sun Studio and Beale Street, which is oh my God, it's like, it feels like you're like going back in time. That's what it feels like. Like, I wish I was like on that street in like 1950s or something. You know, I feel like that would have been a really good time to be there. So yeah, I really did like that they kind of showcased those parts, because Elvis did take a lot of inspiration from, you know, Black musicians and Black gospel singers, and you know, they do feature that in the film. They kind of talk about that, where he gets his inspiration from. So I did like that they kind of like showed a little bit of that. So I have to say that Austin Butler, oh my God, he carried this movie. Like, he was Elvis. I was convinced. Like, and like, I do watch a lot of these what do you call them, like biopics, you know, of these movies. Like, I loved, one of my favorite ones was Bohemian Rhapsody. Oh my God, Rami Malek was like amazing in Bohemian Rhapsody. I loved that movie. I thought he did a really good job as Freddie Mercury. And I also really liked the, what's his name? Elton John one that came out. I thought he should have won that category. I thought he was really good. But anyway, so I think that Austin Butler really did a really good job in this. His voice was like convincing. Like the way he speaks like Elvis in this movie, I was like, wow, he worked hard. Some feelings that I got when watching this movie was I really liked how they mixed in some clips of, you know, real footage of, you know, the real Elvis, which was really nice. And I also felt really sad for the musicians. They get taken advantage of. I didn't actually really know Elvis's story that much. Like, I know about him, but like I didn't really know that much about his career and what happened to him, and like that scandal of him being stuck in Vegas and everything. Like I didn't know all that. So I learned a lot. I was like, oh, is this what it was like? This is awful. I actually felt really bad for him. You know, I was like, he could have accomplished so much more than what he did. So he's one of those people who's just very timeless. You know, I feel like you're going to be listening to his music even like 100 years from now. I do actually quite like some of his songs. So yeah, overall, I actually enjoyed this movie. I think this is a definite must-watch for any Elvis fans. This movie is also nominated for cinematography and Best Actor, and I actually think that he should get Best Actor for this. I do. Is it going to win Best Film? No. It's not going to win Best Picture. Not a contender for me. I don't think so. I don't think it's going to win. So far, it's all Western on the quiet front. And then let's see the other ones. Yeah, okay. So it was good. I definitely enjoyed it. I think you should watch it. It was a good movie. I enjoyed watching it. It was a good movie. Next up on my list is Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. So this movie has the most nominations for this year's Oscars. I think it has 11 nominations. It's in like a whole bunch of categories, like director, actress, supporting actor, supporting actress, for 2 different people, and original screenplay. So yeah, it's like, it's the most nominated film. It's the contender. It's the one that people think is going to win Best Film, because I think it won Best Film at, was it the BAFTAs? Or Screen Actors Guild, I can't remember which one, but it took Best Film recently. So, where did I watch this? I watched this on Showtime. I did a trial. And actually Showtime is really good. They have some good stuff on there. But it's also streaming on Amazon, but it's expensive. It's $20 on Amazon. Showtime, it's just streaming on there. So if you want to do like a trial or whatever, that's where I watched it. So this movie is about an immigrant mother who holds the power to save everyone in the universe, or the multiverse, whatever you want to call it. It also examines a complex relationship between the mother and the daughter. There were a lot of really interesting metaphors in this film. I really, really liked it. Like, I liked it a lot. This movie was like a mix between like The Matrix, like the, you know, the whole like the one, Neo being the one situation. It had like the trippiness of like Inception, you know, where you sort of like go within a dream, and then you're doing like, it's very sort of like, what am I watching? Who, what, where? So it like, yeah, The Matrix, Inception. It has some comedy aspects to it that kind of made me think of Rush Hour. And actually, fun fact, I think Jackie Chan was supposed to play the lead actor role in this, but I'm really glad they didn't cast him and they casted this other guy, because this other guy was really good. He was really good in this, like really good. And then also, it also reminded me of like the badassery of Kill Bill, Uma Thurman. So yeah, it kind of reminded me of all these movies like blended into one. This movie, my God, there was so much happening. It was a big old like story melting pot situation, and everything was happening all at the same time. It's very appropriately titled Everything Everywhere All at Once. So it's very, very much like in your face. There's a lot happening. You have to unpack a lot. Like right from the beginning, it's just like go, go, go. It's very fast paced. It keeps you entertained. It's very sort of like, It's a lot. I will say that I loved that all the central characters were immigrants. They're people of color, which is really good, which is something you never see. You don't see like almost all the cast being people of color. The only movie I can think of is Black Panther, where it's all people of color. I don't know if I can think of any other ones. You know what I mean? So that was really nice. It was refreshing to see that. I also really loved the costumes in this movie were amazing. Oh my God, it kind of reminded me of like Fifth Element. I love watching Fifth Element because of the fashion. Very like avant-garde. If you're a person who's into fashion, you should watch this movie. Like, it's really cool. I don't know who did the costume for it. I actually should look that up because it's really good. Very creative, avant-garde, fun outfits. And I can definitely see why this movie got the most nominations because they had a lot going for it. It was really good. The cast was incredible, and I really hope they win some awards. I really do. I think this movie could take the Best Picture. I do. I think it's up there. And I think that it could actually take the win for Best Picture. I reckon it's gonna win. And I was just entertained, period. The entire film, I was entertained from beginning to end. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. Watch it. It was good. Get yourself some popcorn and watch it. The next film on my list for Best Picture, or on the Oscars list, is The Fablemans. So The Fablemans is also up for director, actress, supporting actor, and original screenplay. I watched this movie at the movies. I took myself out on like a Sunday afternoon and I watched it at the movies, and it was a really great day. It was really nice. I'm kind of glad I went to watch it in the movies. It was really nice. But you can also watch it on Amazon for $20. I think that's what it says right now. This is a good movie. This is actually a good movie. So it's based on Steven Spielberg's upbringing. Michelle Williams plays Steven Spielberg's mom. And the teenage character that played Steven Spielberg, I thought was really, really good. He was really good. Like, I could see aspects of like Spielberg in that movie. Yeah, Michelle Williams was fantastic in this film. Like, she was really good. In this movie. It sort of deals with like the sort of difficulties of marriage, the difficulties of parenting, difficulties of motherhood, difficulties of being a child with like, yeah, it has like a lot of interesting topics that it deals with. It was just a really good movie to watch. A lot of the things that I really liked about this book is how they looked. You get like an inside look into like one of the best directors in the field, how he got his inspiration. You get to see how he was brought up and how his love for film came to be. I really did like that. And it's a really good movie for people to watch who are into filmmaking, or people who are into movies, because you kind of get to see how movies were made like back in the day, like the amount of work that went into like actually being creative and creating a movie like way before CGI. It's really cool. Like, I was like blown away. I was like, oh my God, that's how they used to do it. Like, I mean, I kind of knew, but I also like I didn't really know. So I have to say, like, things are a lot easier, because when you compare like a movie like that to like Avatar, which is like so CGI.com, you know, it's amazing to see like where film started and how they kind of started to create movies and special effects and stuff like that. How you had to be creative to create your own special effects. So I really liked that aspect of this film. It was a fun movie to watch. I really enjoyed watching this movie. It was a good movie. It's a good movie for, like I said, any film lovers, anyone who is into kind of Hollywood and wants to become an actor and all that good stuff. I definitely think this is a contender for Best Film. I will say that this would be the kind of movie that would take Best Picture if we were like in 2010. But I feel like we're not going to choose the obvious movie, which I feel like these are the kind of movies that always won the Oscars, The Fablemans, you know. So it is a contender. It could take Best Picture, but I don't think it will. and I don't want it to take Best Picture because I feel like there are other movies that can. I'd rather like Avatar take it than The Fablemans, you know. Yeah, so it was good though. It was a good movie. I definitely recommend for you to watch it though. It's a good one. I enjoyed it. Okay, the next movie up on the list is Tar. So Tar, oh my God, I remember this being advertised all the time. Like on like, I get the New York Times newspaper and it was always like being talked about on there. So Tar has Cate Blanchett in it. Cate Blanchett is amazing. My God, I feel like she's just like a superstar. She can act in anything. She's really good. So it follows this fictional, wait, let me find my notes. It follows this fictional character who she plays like a sort of maestro, a conductor in an orchestra, and is kind of like a genius in her film. In her field. So she's sort of like this well-known composer, like, you know, a lot of respect, and she's a female composer, which is quite rare and all that good stuff. So this script really reminded me of the show Succession. I don't know if you've watched, you should watch that show. Actually, it's weird because when I first watched it, I remember thinking like, why am I watching this? This is horrible. Like, I didn't like how privileged they all were. And like, I'm just like, why am I watching a bunch of white people being fucking privileged and shit? And then actually, I kind of started getting into the stupid show. I fucking love Succession. And I'm really sad that this is the final season they're coming out with soon. So anyway, the script of Tar really reminded me of Succession. That kind of like sharp, like, you kind of just start talking like in the middle of a sentence. I don't know. It has like a way of talking. Whoever did the script for this, it's a really cool script. This movie is also nominated for Director, Actress, Original Screenplay. Oh, I don't know. I feel like Cate Blanchett might take Best Actress for this because she carried this movie. Just like how Austin Butler carried the Elvis movie, she carried this movie. Like, it was very solely like about her, about this actor, you know, about her life. Very sort of like zoning in on that. It's weird because like when I first started watching this movie, I was actually kind of like, like I wasn't into it for the first like maybe 30 minutes. And then like after that, I was like actually invested. I was like, oh, this is good. Okay. Like it was weird. I wasn't like drawn into the film from the beginning. I was just sort of like, okay, yeah, whatever. And then the more I watched it, the more I liked it. And I actually really loved it towards the end. I thought it was a really good movie. So I kind of like that she plays this kind of maestro, conductor, very like strong character. And it made me think of, I wonder what people who are in this world will think of this movie, because I don't know anything about like this whole classical movies, you know, scene. Like I know nothing about that stuff. So this is why I love watching movies, because you learn so much about so many different subjects. So yeah, it's a very particular movie of a very particular subject. So I really wonder what people who are in this world, or conductors and all those people studying in Juilliard and all that, what they think of this movie. I wonder if they think it's like, you know, this is what it's like, and I wonder if they'll like it, or I wonder if they like how the world is portrayed. It was just a really interesting film. I kind of liked that aspect about it. Cate Blanchett was amazing in this movie. She was intense. My God, like what an intense role. I feel like you'd have to be like method acting into this. It was really good. Overall, it was an interesting movie. I'm not sure how I felt about the ending. Like it was kind of like a bit like, okay. Like after it ended, I was like, okay, all right. You know, like I wasn't sort of like, it was kind of, I don't know, it's kind of sad. Like, it's interesting because you really just get to learn a lot about this character and like what's important to them, and like the desperate lengths of being like, you know, a narcissist like person doing this very like specific thing. It's quite sad how it ended, but interesting movie. I think Cate Blanchett was amazing in this. I think she will probably take Best Actress for this, if she doesn't beat Michelle Yeoh in Everything Everywhere all at once. She's a very strong contender. Is this gonna win Best Film? No, it's not. It's not gonna win. That's my take on it. Okay, next one. Top Gun Maverick. I was like, what? Top Gun for Best Picture? Really? Oscars? Really? Is that what we're doing now? Top Gun Maverick. Okay. So, this movie, I have not watched the original Top Gun because, I don't know, I don't really want to see a bunch of macho men ego stroking each other, saying who's the best, you know, like, I don't know. I just never watched it. I have never had any interest to watch Top Gun, the original. So when the second one came out, I didn't even think I was going to watch it. And it got a lot of like airplay all around Instagram. Everybody's like loving Miles Teller and talking about how Tom Cruise is like one of the OG movie stars. It's true, actually. It's pretty true. So let me get into what I thought about this movie. Okay, first of all, Top Gun is also nominated for Adapted Screenplay. I watched this on Amazon. I think I rented it. So yeah, it's available, like $6. I loved the opening scene of Tom Cruise in the Mojave Desert. I thought that was a pretty cool scene. I don't know why. I actually rewinded it to watch it again, just because I really liked that scene. And I've been to the Mojave Desert. It's really cool out there. It's just dry. I felt thirsty when I was over there. So it felt really iconic, the opening of this. I was like, I don't know anything about Top Gun, but I feel like they're really like solidifying the whole Top Gun thing in this. It was a really iconic opening. Even though I didn't watch the first movie, I actually kind of was like, oh, there's some weight to this. You know, they're really taking us back to Top Gun original. And I have to say, the opening scene with Tom Cruise riding that motorbike without a helmet, I was like, oh my God, I have friends who are into biking. And I immediately messaged my friend and I was like, oh my God, Tom Cruise is riding a motorbike without a helmet. And I'm like, that's not cool. Apparently that's like, I don't know. I just feel like people should wear helmets because you never know. But then again, you know, it's a rebel thing, isn't it? So living life on the fast edge or whatever. I have to say, Tom Cruise looks really good. Like, he looks really good. He's aged really well. I was like shocked about that. Because I haven't seen him in anything in a very long time. He looks really good. Great hair, great skin. He's got great eyes as usual. I really loved the cast of this movie. I didn't know that John Hamm was in it. And Miles Teller. And I mean, I knew Miles Teller was in it because Instagram loves Miles Teller. They really do. This is a really good movie. Like, I was entertained from beginning to end. I was like loving this movie. I liked it way more than I thought I would. It's so weird because I really did not want to watch this movie. Like, I was like, it was like one of the final ones that I'd watched, you know, for this category, for the Oscars or whatever. And I was like, okay, let's sit down. Let's fucking watch Top Gun Maverick. A whole bunch of macho men being macho with each other. But I have to say, this was really good. It was very like feel good. It made me feel good. It was thrilling. It was entertaining. It was energetic. It was fun. It was a fun movie to watch. And it was a very, very American, like mega American. Lots of like those kind of catchphrases, like, you know, people talking in like one-liners. It felt like that. It was really funny. So serious, so macho. And like the fist hugging. I remember, like, I don't know what scene it was, but there was like a fist hug, like, ooh, just hugging you like this because we're men and this is how we hug and we pat on the back like that. It was very macho. So funny. Yeah, there were a lot of funny stuff about this movie. Jennifer Connelly at the end wearing that bomber jacket. I was like, girl, who are you trying to fool? Like, take that off. And like all these kind of like really funny names like Rooster and like Phoenix, and everybody has like their flying name or whatever they call it. I don't know. It was a fun movie. I have to say, I'm not even going to be mad at Top Gun Maverick. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. Everybody should watch this movie just because it's a really perfect movie to watch on a Saturday night. Like, it's so fun. Watch it with your friends. I'm surprised that it's in Best Picture, but it's not gonna win Best Picture, no way. But it's kind of cool that they nominated it. It was just a fun film. It was good. Next film on the Best Picture is Triangle of Sadness. So this is nominated for Best Director and Original Screenplay. I watched this on Hulu last night. Okay, this movie, whoo! This movie stressed me the fuck out. Like, I did not enjoy watching this movie. Like, it's weird because I understand why it's in this category. I do actually understand why it's in this category. It's one of those movies, again, I felt like, it's not really a strong year for the Oscars this year. It really isn't. Like, this is the best they could do, really. It was interesting. It was about like a bunch of rich people who are on a yacht, and then the yacht crashes, and then they have to like survive on this island. And it has to do with like class and like, you know, it kind of makes fun of like really rich people and like how they behave and the things that they get away with and all that stuff. So it really does play on that kind of like whole thing. It's a comedy. It's a bit satirical. I have to say Woody Harrelson was really good in this. He was very Woody Harrelson. Like, this is the most I've ever seen Woody Harrelson being Woody Harrelson. But the movie itself, I just did not enjoy watching this movie. Like, I watched it and I was like, okay, I'm watching it. But I was like not enjoying watching it. I do have to say, though, it was very original. I thought the movie was very original. I've never really seen anything like it. It was quite clever. It was twisted. I feel like it's a movie that I've just never seen before. Like, I haven't seen a movie like this. It's kind of a very Wes Anderson-y kind of movie. The movie kind of didn't really make a lot of sense as well sometimes. It was weird. It was trippy. It's a good movie to watch if you're getting high, I guess. I don't know. A lot of random stuff happens. And then in the end, I was just like, okay, this was a strange film. So yeah, it was okay. It's not going to win Best Picture. There's no way. So yeah, that's that. Triangle of Sadness. Watch it if you want. The last movie nominated for Best Picture is Women Talking. So Women Talking finally was available on streaming. It's also nominated for Adapted Screenplay. I watched it on Amazon, rented, $6. Women Talking. These women, they talked. They were really talking. Like, I was like, they're talking. Like, I was just sitting there on my phone watching it. I was just like doing other stuff. And I was like, oh, they're really just out here talking. Like, and then I was like, let me pay attention. Let me listen to what they're saying, because these women are talking right now. Very appropriately titled movie, because all they did was talk. They'd like go away, go to bed, come back, and then they keep talking. And they just talked for the entire movie. It was interesting. So this movie was based from a book, which kind of makes sense. And it is centered around a group of women who are part of a colony somewhere in America. And the year is 2010, so it's actually pretty recent. It's not like back in the day or anything. I thought that was really interesting. And they're discussing whether or not to leave the colony or to stay and fight the men who are harming / attacking all of the women in the colony. So yeah, do they basically stay and fight for their rights or whatever, and fight the men, or do they leave the colony? So that's basically the whole gist of the movie, and they're just sitting down and they're talking about it. There's a lot of talking, guys, for real. I have to say Rooney Mara was really good in this, and Jessie Buckley, my god, girl, she was good in this movie. And Claire Foy as well. They were all amazing. I thought the women in this movie were actually pretty amazing. It kind of felt like you were watching a play. Like, it gave me like monologue vibes. Like, everybody kind of got their turn to say their piece, and it felt very like they're talking to you, like in a theater. Like, it kind of gave me theater vibes. So if you're into theater, if you're into monologues, you're gonna like this movie. And I have to say, side point, SNL, y'all need to jump on this, because if they did a skit on this, it would be so funny. There's just so many things to make fun of. It's hilarious. Like, this needs to have like a skit on SNL. I don't know if whoever is, you know, behind that, but please get on that. I would watch that. It would be so funny. But anyway, that being put aside, it was a good movie. It was empowering. It's, you know, it's about women kind of fighting for what they want, and it's very bold. It was very raw. It was empowering. It was good. These women talked a lot, guys. They talked a lot. Like, yeah. Beginning right up until the end, I was talking. So yeah, it was good. I don't think it's gonna win Best Picture, but it was a good film, and I can see why it's nominated, I guess. So like I said, there's a lot of movies on here that I feel like, I don't know, like it's not a strong year. I feel like we've had better years for Oscars. But in my opinion, the movies that might win, Everything Everywhere All at Once, I think might take it. I think maybe All Quiet on the Western Front maybe might take it. I also kind of think like underdog Gun Maverick. I wouldn't be surprised if they took it. I don't think they're gonna. And then maybe Avatar, maybe Elvis. Those are the ones that I think might take the best film. But I think it's going to be Everything Everywhere All at Once is the one that people are thinking is going to. I think that's the one that kind of can take the best film, because it's just, there's a lot happening in that movie. So yeah, that's my roundup. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. If you liked this video, let me know, and next time I'll do like a very short roundup of like all the other Oscar nominated movies, because I've watched all of them. I've watched the supporting role nominations, I've watched all of the shorts, all of the animated shorts, I've watched the documentaries, short, international films, and I'm gonna do like a roundup on my Instagram of all these movies, and what I thought of, a little blurb of what I thought about each one and what you should check out, because some like are good and some I'm like, I didn't need to watch that, you know what I mean? Like I was like, okay. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this recording, and let's see who's gonna take that win. I don't know if I'll get to put this out before the Oscars come out. I'll see, I'll try. If not, then, you know, my predictions will just kind of live on after the Oscars. All right, thank you so much for watching, and have a great week.